A question that I have been asked many times over the years is certainly a great question, and it's the topic of this video. So, the question that I've been asked is why should a person commit resources, be it financial resources, their time and energy, to working with a career coach when there's an abundance of material, other resources out there that are free? And, to be quite honest, it's a fair question. And I know many people think it, right? So there is certainly no shortage of free resources out there, be it webinars, articles, websites, workshops. If you're a student or an alum, there are plenty of avenues for support through your university, student groups, even that offer resume and interviewing support. Certainly soak it all in. I think free resources are great. If you followed me, I think, I talk about ones that I think are really helpful, and, sharing that with the masses is important because, access for this information to all is really important. I've also had people who are working professionals point the same question out because, they too have had to go through the job search and had to figure it out on their own, have been able to land a position and have been offered, a salary at which they accepted. That certainly serves as experience and a baseline going forward if they ever want to change roles. And they say, there's really no need for this because I've been able to do it. I give my expertise out, etc. And again, can't really fault, in addition to free resources, but one's own personal firsthand experience, absolutely valuable. You should always lean into that and really reflect. But I will say that, there is a great benefit to working with a career coach, and that does mean committing the resources. And this is why. It's not so much that we're competing with free resources or your experience, because they're all really helpful. But I do believe that when people do make the move to working more formally with a career coach, it's because they're wanting to have a perspective that they're not getting from their efforts at that moment. So, what do I mean by that? It is a situation where, sure, they've landed positions before, have used a formula to do that, but they're not gaining traction. They are in interviews, preparing as best they can based off of things that they're seeing online, yet their questions, or their responses rather, are not being received, in a positive light, or they're not sure. I've also seen it where a person is flying right along in their interview process. They get an offer, but then it's not nearly as high or what they hoped, and they're wondering if their approach is going to be a good way to counter offer. It's things like this. I think what is helpful is when you do have other perspectives clue you in. And certainly you can get those other perspectives from other people, certainly mentors, other people that you know and have worked with and respect. And sure, you don't have to pay money. But a lot of times people come to me with perspective, a perspective that they need and that they want to get right to, you know, answers in figuring out what is it about their, line of approach that might not be something that they're seeing. The benefit, I would say, in working with a career coach, certainly not all are created equal. Everyone has a different take and experience in what they bring to the table. I know for myself, I've worked in the industry of hiring people, and it's not just finding them, using all the tools and methodologies to identify passive candidates, but it's also thoroughly vetting them working with hiring managers to understand what they see a difference in a good candidate from the one that they're going to hire and what those nuances are. In addition to the perspectives that employers take when they do go to the table to negotiate, why they're offering you the salary that they're offering you, and what within an educated guess, and just what I've seen, what is the upper threshold? So, not everyone has that perspective. I'm sure there are plenty of other perspectives that are incredibly helpful, but, unless you've actually done this kind of job day in and day out as your full-time job, you may sit and realize that, there is a few things that you might not really know. And this is where I've seen people, really want to focus and get right to it from someone who is a practitioner, professional of the craft. I mean, just like you would see a doctor or a dentist who has been schooled and board certified. I mean, career coaches, people can tell you that they're board certified or certified in general, but really, what makes or breaks it is the lens that they bring to a situation. And a lot of that relies upon the experiences and things that they've actually put into place and the roles that they've played in that. So that's where it would be worth it to commit your resources to working with a career coach. Certainly you don't have to. And I, again, think that it's great to use all those resources that are out there if you find them helpful. But sometimes you can feel like you're not really sure what the direction is. And this other person could help you greatly make sense of that.